Hi, in this video we're going to take a quick look at linking the data from a Google form into a Google Sheet automatically and a couple of the other things around that you should be aware of. So let's take this particular form that we had looked at in a previous video. It's just a general information form. It's not a quiz, although you can do this with a quiz, exactly the same. But basically, if we go to responses, we'll see that we have our list of responses here. And if we want those to be in a spreadsheet, you'll notice that we have a Google Sheets icon up here that says Create Spreadsheet. And if we click on it, we can either choose to create a new spreadsheet, which will just create a whole new blank spreadsheet that's got all of our responses and is linked to this form, or we can select an existing one. So I'll do that first just to show you the process, because it might be that, for example, you would have a spreadsheet that had a range of different data in it that you wanted to collate in one place and to be able to work with together. So if we select that, we can choose an existing spreadsheet that we already have. So I'll choose that example one that we looked at before. And when we do this, all that happens is Google Forms will create a new tab within that spreadsheet at the start of your list of tabs. And in there will go all of your form responses. So you'll see that with that, you'll get a timestamp, you'll get your email addresses, you'll get all of your responses in their individual columns, so you can do whatever you would need to do in your spreadsheet with that information. Now, if you have somebody then complete another response to your form, so I'll just quickly do that. As while I'm doing it. So I've just about finished filling this form in as another response. So imagine we had, form responses coming in. So we can see at the moment we've only got 6 responses in there. And when I submit this response here, what we should find is if we look at our spreadsheet instantly, more or less, that will update with any new responses. So this is not just a record of your form at the time you create it, it's actually a kind of an ongoing record of any changes that occur within your form. And if you've set your form up so that people can amend the responses after they've completed it once, this will also update automatically to show revisions. And so that way it can actually be used to track changes in responses. And you can, as you would with any spreadsheet, if this has more numerical data, for example, you could use formulas and functions and so on to work with that data a little bit more effectively. Now, if you decided that you wanted to actually link it to a different form, that's actually quite easy. But you'll note here that if we try and delete that, it won't let us until we've unlinked it. So if we click delete, it says it will stop working, and it says you cannot delete with a linked form. Please unlink the form first. And you can either do that by just clicking where it says unlink form here, or in the form itself. If you go in here, you can choose unlink form. And when we've unlinked that form, the data will stay here, but it won't update anymore. And we could delete that. It'll let us delete this now. And if we wanted to, we could now actually say, well, rather than having it in an existing spreadsheet, we want that in its own spreadsheet. So we can just create a new spreadsheet, and the same process will work as it did before, but this time it's just in a different document. So it's really, really easy to take all that data from your forms, put it in a spreadsheet, and do whatever you might want to do with it in a spreadsheet.